27 books at retail. The stack is worth over $600. I only paid $255. That means I saved about $350. And one of them ended up being completely free from a publisher. I'm gonna show you every book that I got, tell you where I got them from, what I paid, and how you can save some money while still enjoying reading and not breaking the bank. I don't like to gatekeep here, so let's get into it. So anytime I'm looking for books with deals or discounts or used, I typically don't like to spend anything over $10 for a used book. There are some exceptions to those rules. So if it's a special edition, or if it's already half the retail price, if it's anything above a 40% discount, I will still count those as a bargain find. So to kick off the video, I've been dying to see what is in this envelope. I have never gotten a PR package before, so this is my first one and I wanted to share it with you, so I waited to open it. Mira's here, by the way. Hi, Mira. She's gonna help us. All right, so I received this in the mail probably a few weeks ago and I feel really guilty not opening it yet because I think that if a publisher is gonna send me a book, I should probably read it with a sense of urgency so that I can put a review up and give them my thoughts. There are a few influencer lists that I'm a part of and they sometimes ask you, they give you about 5 books to choose from and they ask you which one you would be interested in. Just because you fill out the form doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the book, but in my case, I was selected this time. So I'm actually like, this was so long ago, I don't even know what could be in here. So we're gonna look at it together. Ooh, okay, so this is an ARC. It is an uncorrected ARC of Death's Daughter. This is by S.A. Barnes. It does say it comes out spring 2026, so we might be a little late on this one. It's about 400 pages. The back says, the steamy mythology of neon gods meets dark academia and Death's Daughter from USA Today bestselling author S.A. Barnes. Jocasta just wants to be normal. She has good friends in a messy situationship in her quiet college town. When her father, Death, suddenly names her as his successor, she becomes a target in the dangerous games of the old ones. When a sexy stranger shows up to campus in search of her, Jo knows her ordinary life is about to shatter. Dive into this heart-pounding paranormal romance from an exciting new voice in the genre. I'm actually so excited to read this. It is by Bramble. Bramble is an imprint of Tor Publishing Group, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually love a lot of the books that Tor Publishing Group releases. So this is going to be right up my alley, and I cannot wait to get into it. If I have time in July, which I should because I'm flying through books right now, I'm gonna throw this one on and let you guys know what I think. Thank you to Bramble and Tor Publishing Group for giving me this ARC and I can't wait to read it. All right, so that was the absolutely free book. We didn't pay anything for that book. So then I have a few more categories that I wanna go into. So the next books that I want to talk about is our book outlet haul. Every book in this box that we're about to open was only $7.99. This was their $7.99 fiction sale. I'm usually really bad at knowing when these fiction sales are going to happen, but when they do, they are amazing. So we're just gonna open this up together. Sometimes when you get packages, you get a coupon to save more money in your next purchase. So always hold on to those because that's a great hack. So I usually browse Book Outlet leisurely. I always check in to see what new stock they're getting in. If you don't know what that website is, it's basically, I would assume, overstocked books that don't sell, or maybe they are a little damaged. They usually come with a little dot on the bottom so that you can't sell them back as a new book to like Indigo or Barnes & Noble, and they're usually completely fine. The stock just changes almost daily, so you just always have to be on the lookout for the things that you want. I will say this website is a money pit if you have a bad habit of overbuying books, so you do need some self-control when you're on this website. So I actually was on a book buying ban, but then I realized they had a $7.99 sale. I ended up buying 11 books. I'm not proud. I'm just here to do my job and tell you what books I got, where I got them, how I got them, and how I saved the money, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, so we're just gonna go from whatever's on the top of the box down to the bottom. So first I see Kingdom of the Feared. This is going to be a sequel in the Kingdom of Wicked and Kingdom of the Cursed series by Kerri Maniscalco. Now I have only read one book by Kerri Maniscalco, but I do already own Kingdom of the Wicked. I do love her as an author and I can't wait to read more by her, so that is why I bought this book. Also, it's not very big, so it should be a really simple, fast read. This book retail price was $24.99 and we paid, what? $7.99. The next one I got here is Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. Again, this is an author that I've read in the past. I really do like the writing and I'm very curious about Carissa's other series. So I believe this is book 1 of the War of Lost Hearts series. I have no clue what this is about. I just know that she is a fantasy girly and I am a fantasy girly. This one is a retail price of $41.99 and I got it for $7.99. You cannot pass up a deal like this. Speaking of the Kingdom of the Wicked series, here we go. Here's Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerri Maniscalco. So that means we have the entire set. I don't remember where I got Kingdom of the Wicked from. It's right here on the TBR. Could not tell you, but that means I have the whole hardcover set. I believe this is book 2 and Kingdom of the Feared is book 3. Once again, this retail price is $23.99 and we paid, what? You got it, $7.99. Alrighty, next we have The Everlasting by Alix Harrow. I bought this book blind. I don't know anything about the author. I don't know anything about the writing or the series or whatever. I just know that I've heard this name a few times. I have one of Alix's books on my TBR cart currently. This was the one that I think is more popular than the one that I have, so I did have to scoop this up. It has some solid sprayed edges. We're not crazy about that, but this is a retail price of $41.99 and we paid $7.99. If you're curious about what any of these books are about, I will leave the list of books in the description below and you can go on to Goodreads or go on to Google and learn more about them. I will tell you what I know though. I see a hardcover in here. She is a baddie. She is ultra thick. This is Empire of Dawn by Kristoff. So I did make a small mistake when getting this book. I have not read this series yet. I believe I have book 1 and book 2, but unfortunately they're in paperback and this one is hardcover, so that's okay. In the end, I say all the books read the same, so I don't get too stuck on having like a full set of the same type of book. I know my husband is kind of passionate about that, but I don't care if it's a hodgepodge as long as I get to read the book. This one has a retail price of $49 Canadian and we paid $7.99. You guys are gonna get so sick of me saying that by the end of this haul. Okay, on to the next one. So we had recently picked up Runebreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I love Victoria Aveyard. I don't know where she went. She's up there. And I picked up Runebreaker from Value Village. I think it was like $5 or $6 here. I ended up seeing book 2, so I had to scoop it up because, say it with me now, the book was $7.99. And I know I'm gonna like Victoria Aveyard's series. I know this is like YA also, but I don't care. I love YA fantasies. She sold me on the Red Queen series. I haven't even finished that one yet. We're very excited to keep collecting this series and get into it when we get to it. This one has a retail price of $24.99 Canadian and we paid, yeah, you got it, $7.99. Next on the list is book 3 of Emily Wilde. I actually still don't have book 1, but I've read book 1. I read it from the library. I have it on my Kindle, but I have not read book 3 yet. Book 2 was great. It's a wonderful, cozy fantasy. I recommend it to anyone if they're coming off of like a 5 or 6 star hangover. It's great. Read these books for a palate cleanser for sure if you just need a nice, cozy time. But yeah, this is book 3 of the series. This is a hardcover, as well as Map of the Otherlands, and I will eventually get book 1 in hardcover as well. This one has a retail price of $39 Canadian. This little itty bitty, as big as my head book, $39 Canadian, we bought it for $7.99. Need I say more? Okay, so Emmy talks this book up a lot, and I know I refer to her as if we're besties and we FaceTime every day. It's okay, she doesn't know who I am yet, but I idolize her. I love watching her vlogs when I go to bed. I love seeing her little library makeover right now. She will die for this book, and that's enough to pique my interest and even convince me to buy it. So this is Metal Slinger. I don't know anything about this book. This is book 1 of the Fire and Metal series. This is a paperback. It is a retail price of $27. So we saved like $19. I'm interested to see what Rachel Schneider has to offer us. And I see like this one was in Target at some point and maybe it just didn't sell. So now we get to read it and it's gonna be a great fun time. A few more books to go for the book outlet haul. I'll try to go a little faster for you. I know that this can be boring sometimes. I just want you guys to understand how exciting it is to not only fill your library, but saving money at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna do these last 2 together. So this one, Jamie speaks very highly of Red City. This book is by Marie Lu. She had a great time with this book, and again, it was $7.99, so I just had to snag it. I really just don't need any more convincing when a book is so low and I've heard so much about it. I just add it to the cart. Yeah, so we are gonna see what this one is about. I think it's a fantasy book. Mostly all of these are fantasy. Yeah, they're all fantasy, so that's okay. That's my jam. I do see some solid sprayed edges here, so this is some sort of special edition. That means this book was $41.99 Canadian retail price, and we bought it for $7.99. So of course I had to pick this up. Even if I hate this book and I resell it for $2 to $5, I read a book for $2. Like you can't go wrong. I can't shut up about this. I'm gonna keep going. I've heard so much about this series that I bought it blind. The books are beautiful. Never read the author before, and those are Heavenly Bodies and Fallen Stars by Imani, Erriu. Okay, you know what I mean. Anyways, so book 1 of Heavenly Bodies, book 2 of Heavenly Bodies, both paperback, same set, both with sprayed edges. I know like you guys don't care about sprayed edges, but I just think it's a fun, good time and I really enjoy it. So that was a steal. Both books, $7.99 each. So that brought us to a grand total of $87.89 Canadian dollars for 11 books. Some paperback, some hardcover. Editing Mandy will throw up the retail price here. And that gives us a savings of $245. This is a crime. Is this a crime? Am I gonna go to jail? Is this illegal to do this? I'm just so happy. If you want to save money like me through Book Outlet, basically when you create an account, they're gonna send you a bunch of emails. The subject will tell you what kind of sale or deal they're running. The emails come often, so maybe that's a little annoying. Saving $240 is worth the email spam. I don't think anyone cares, but all of those books except for 3 were hardcover. Thought that was a fun fact. Moving on, Mila. She's still here. You guys can't see her, but she is sitting nice and close to us. She is here with us hauling these books. Mira, a great filming partner. Before we get into the next category, let me know down below what your best budget book find was. What was that one steal? I need to know. I need to know down below. So make sure you share. So the next category are books that we found on Amazon, whether it was during a Prime Day sale. Sometimes they have coupons that you can clip. And my biggest hack for Amazon is creating a list of things that you wish to buy and every day just checking to see if anything has gone on sale. This is kind of how I scored some of these books. Just a small disclaimer that when I can, I do typically purchase used books. I love giving another life to books that have been previously loved, and I find no problem with owning a book that somebody else has already read. Please understand that I do utilize my library as well. I'm gonna share with you some new books that we found on Amazon, starting with Mistborn. I read Mistborn. It's all the way up there. I'm not getting it. I read the little mass market. Mistborn paired with the audiobook. It didn't blow me away, but I was really happy that I read that book. At the end of the book, there was a kind of a cliffhanger too, and I just had to figure out what was going to happen in book 2. So I had decided that I will, in fact, collect the Mistborn series books, and I really love this art style. So I purposely went out to get this one, and I love that it's paperback. This one is giving big floppy vibes. Really excited to get into The Well of Ascension. So I saw Mistborn on there. The Well of Ascension was also discounted. So I scooped those up. It was also my first epic fantasy read, so I think it'll always hold a special place in my heart. So we are going to continue the series. Really excited about that. Book 1 we ended up snagging for around $15. I am looking at the retail price is $33.99 Canadian. Practically almost, if not more, half off there. And then because I've already read Mistborn, I did need to snag book 2. This one was a little more expensive. It didn't have as big of a deal. And this was $27.19. So we didn't save as much as we did through Mistborn, but we did save, you know, a few dollars. And I don't want to talk about this book because if you haven't read Mistborn, I don't want to spoil anything for you. So these are both paperback. They are both floppy. This one is bigger than the first book. And I can't wait to add this onto my shelf and this one to the TBR. The next one was a really good find. So again, this one was specifically bought on their Prime Day specials. I debated this book because again, this is not a book that I would typically pick up, but everyone would not stop talking about this book, talking about how it made them cry, on how it was so special. So I went back and forth, and then I bought it. So this is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is not a typical book that I would pick up, but there is something really special about reading outside of my typical genre. I do love to flex, spread my wings, and see what I'm missing. This one has the, what do you call it? It's not like perforated edges. You know, it has this thing, and I do find that sometimes it's hard to turn the page, and also it catches a lot of cat hair with these edges. You know, I don't care. It's a beautiful book. Again, I've heard great things about this. I do have like space anxiety, so hopefully nothing like happens while they're out in space. This book was only $14.61. Retail price was $26.99. And then our last physical purchase from Amazon was the Grimm and Oro special edition set here. I'm just gonna like flip it around because it's, you know, it's double-sided. I don't think I need to tell you much about this. I really enjoy Alix Aster's writing. I am currently on like book 3 of the Light Lark series, so it only made sense to pick this up. I think its retail price is $43.99, but there was an $18 coupon that I clipped, so it only ended up being like $26 or something. I'm not math girly, so just take my word for it. I thought it'd be good to have this in the library, especially when I get to these books, and they're beautiful, so it seemed like it was gonna be a good deal. Okay, and then there were 3 books that we bought digitally. These ones ranged anywhere from 1 penny to $2. I typically don't seek out Kindle books, but when they are so deeply discounted, I have no problem supporting the author. The first book I picked up was The Sun and Starmaker. This is a whimsical fantasy romance by Rachel Griffin. I simply want to read this book because the cover is beautiful. I've talked about this book I think a few times, couldn't tell you where. So I do have it now on my Kindle. Right now the book is selling on Amazon for like $26 and I paid $1.99 for the Kindle edition. The next book that we got for Kindle was Wolf.e. Not really sure if I'm saying that correctly. Again, I bought this book blind. I kind of read the synopsis. It sounded like it'd be kind of a good time. This is rated 4 stars on Goodreads. This is book 1 of the Soldiers of Bedlam series. We purchased it for $2.50. They have the paperback available for $28.99. And this book is by Paisley Hope. Honestly, the cover artwork was really cool and that kind of just solidified it for me. And the last digital book that we took advantage of was Runebreaker by Mila Finch. This is a fantasy romance. We purchased it for only 99 cents. Looks like the hardcover is going for $47.99. And this is rated 4.3 on Goodreads. And this is book 1 of the Dragon Heirs series. Could not go wrong with fantasy romance. Also, I have heard of Runebreaker before. The cover looks very familiar. Our Kindle now is stocked with books. So Future Mandy is going to add up the total retail price for you here. Our total savings here. I'm just lazy. I could do it all right now. Moving on, we have some thrift store finds that I want to talk about. Few of these have a great memory attached to them, so I would love to tell you about that. And then I found some locally here as well. So I'm going to first show you the ones that we got while we were traveling. We were in Calgary recently. You would only know this if you were following me on TikTok or you watch our YouTube shorts. But I did end up hauling some books from Calgary and having to ship them to myself because I was a little concerned that they would not fit in my suitcase. We found 4 books from a value village in Calgary. I'm gonna go through them just really quickly. So this book was $5.99. This is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I believe this is book 1 of a different series that we've already started collecting. Retail price in Canada is $24.99. So quite the steal. We also picked up a Leigh Bardugo book, King of Scars. This is part of the Grishaverse. I do believe this is in the Shadow and Bone series. It was $4.99. I couldn't walk away from it, especially being such a big Leigh Bardugo fan. Retail price for this book is $17.50. It's a pretty floppy paperback. Then we found Hush Hush. This is book 1 of a fantasy romance. It is a YA. So we only paid $5.49 for it. It was $12.99 Canadian originally. We're gonna fly through this, but I do hear good things about this series. I do know it's an older one. We'll see what that one's about. We picked up book 2 of the Shatter Me series. This is Unravel Me by Tahari Mafi. I was on the fence with Shatter Me, but because we found book 2 for $4.99 instead of $13.50, I think I'm just gonna continue the series. Also, it's because I thought I knew who we were rooting for in book 1, and I think it's completely the totally wrong person. So now I have to see, they need to convince me why I should be rooting for the other guy. So we're gonna continue this series. I don't own book 1. I don't own any of the other books. This is just the only one we have. And I don't know if you can see it back here, but this is my Cassandra Clare shelf. I don't even know if this book is gonna fit, but we did need this book because we do already have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and this is Clockwork Princess. We actually got this book from a used bookstore in Calgary called Fair's Fair. My TikTok is actually blowing up with a used bookstore TikTok that I created because apparently everyone loves this store. So you've not heard about this bookstore in Calgary, you need to go to my TikTok and check that video out because apparently this is such a big deal. But anyways, this is the book that I got from that bookstore. It was $11.50. It was a little steeper, but I knew I needed this book. We had to do it. We had to get it. It is hardcover. And the retail price was $22.99. So again, we still are saving money. It's just $11.50 is a little steep. And then after our Calgary trip, I did, in the last week or two, hit up some thrift stores here closer to home. I picked up Finale. This is a book in the Hush Hush series. I just don't know at what point we get to this book. I'm assuming this is the last book. So maybe Hush Hush, Crescendo, and Silence are books 1, 2, and 3, and this is 4. Anyways, this was like a library book at some point. Got it for $2 because the sticker price is $4, but I think they were doing 50% off books. We ended up paying $2 for it. Retail price is $22.99. This is, again, it's a hodgepodge. I don't care, guys. Paperback versus hardcover. I actually don't mind the protective stuff that they put on library books. I actually prefer it because your girl's clumsy and messy, so you guys can get over that if that bothers you, but saved a ton of money there. Lastly, our final thrift store find that will complete this entire haul is One by One by Ruth Ware. I don't read thriller, I don't read mystery, I don't read books like this. Since we're flexing into different genres, I'm like, why not? I've heard of this author before. The average Goodreads rating was really high, and this book was only $3. Retail price is $24.99 Canadian, so could not go wrong. And if I'm feeling a little zesty and want to see what thrillers have in store for me, then we will start with this one. So we did some really rough math. Again, we will have better numbers after we edit this video. However, some of my pre-planning for this did say that the total price for all of these books was over $600. We may have run away with only spending $255. So we saved over $300 for these books. Hopefully we have on the screen right now a more concise spending and savings. And I just could not be happier. I encourage everyone to, if you're going to buy books physically, if you're trying to build your library, do it smarter. There's nothing wrong with buying used books. There's nothing wrong with garage selling or thrift stores or used bookstores. Go there first before you go to the bigger box stores and see if you can save some money. Because I feel like it's the smarter move, but you get to still be surrounded by books and still enjoy them to their fullest. Now, I do understand hauling 27 books in the last few months is really crazy, especially when I have unread books here and unread books on a book cart. So don't get it twisted. I am not promoting consumerism or overbuying or spending outside of your comfort zone. Really, I just want to showcase the money that could be saved, shopping a little smarter, being kind of strategic about where you get your books from. This is a privilege that I get to have. This is what brings me joy. Now, with all that being said, we are on a book buying ban. I am not looking at Amazon wish lists. I am not looking at Book Outlet currently. And I am not going to use bookstores to find more books because we have a little bit of a problem here. I don't feel guilty, but I need to catch up here. I need to read some books. I need to unhaul some books if they are not for me. And I need to give them a better home if I don't like them. But most of all, I just need to get through these. Yeah, that's about it. So if you made it this far in the video, make sure you comment below what books you have found for like a killer amazing deal, where you find most of your deals, where do we go for these hidden gems, and if you don't want to say anything at all, go ahead and leave a shopping cart in the comments below. Then I'll know you watched the whole video. I'll know that you put in the work. As always, I do appreciate you being here. Make sure if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Get in, be part of the community early. Before we hit that 1,000 mark, be one of the first 1,000 people to follow me ever. Am I selling this to you? Anyways, join the community. Come talk books with us. Tell us about all the money that you saved and turn on notifications because we do a lot. On this channel, we do live sprints, we upload shorts, and we upload longer videos weekly. I hope you enjoyed your time here today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye! I don't know what to tell you guys. Be better than me. Don't be me, just be better than me.